tougher than tough. We'll go out
What's
there.
that? All right.
Be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org.
Kiss 107.1 is WTLZ Saginaw with Steve Harvey in the morning and simply the best R&B all day. Take us everywhere. Your smartphone, in your car, to work, or live at KissWTLZ.com. We're Kiss 107.1.
Well, good evening, Saginaw. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. I'm your host for the next hour. I am so excited to be with you today. I have some of what I call my super friends that are in the house with me today from DTA, that is Dow Treasure Academy. They'll be with me today as we have this wonderful, prolific, and engaging conversation about what DTA is doing in terms of our partnership and kicking off the season of giving for First World Community Center with the radio stations, help making great things happen this coming week on the 12th of March. And so we'll talk about that in just a second. But I want you guys to like, tag, and share this conversation with your friends. Let them get into the stream. This is your first opportunity to really up close and personal see some of these young people that we've been working with, who I can consider some of the most amazing people. They are why I do what I do. And I'm so thankful to have them with us here on this evening. Man, I don't know what's going on outside, but the weather was supposed to be nice. And Rob, you ordered up some cold weather because I know you like this cold stuff.
No, I'm a summer guy.
Man, it was supposed to be 60 degrees. Rob, and it went from showing the legs to putting back on the long.
No, you
pants.
know me now. It gets 50 degrees. I put flip-flops and shorts on.
But yeah, yesterday was a decent day. I say decent, but today is a mother. It's something serious out there. But you know, hey, we're gonna keep on pushing and make great things happen. We got a lot to talk about today. So I'm going to give out the shout out to all of you that are listening to us on our social media stream and those who are listening to us on that 107.1 FM dial. We want to say what's up to you all. Continue to listen. And also for those, you go to KissWTLZ.com if you want to hear this show in its entirety. If you want to hear it listen to it live, you go to that website. You'll find my beautiful picture on there, clip, and then you'll be able to come into the stream and you can catch this show and all of the previous shows. Because the Rob Father, my producer, he is on his grind. Rob, I'm going to give you a second just to give a shout out to the folks. You were jamming today with your classic songs. I was listening to you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, my name is Rob Father, host of Classic Soul Sunday, heard on Sunday afternoon, 1 to 5 p.m. on KissWTLZ.com or any of your local streaming stations like Odyssey, for example, that we promote.
Oh, so you're on there too, Rob?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Every next broadcast of the station goes through Odyssey.
That is awesome. So I did not know that. I'm learning something every day. I'm the new kid on the block. Well, we're going to start off. My heart is heavy, and two amazing people that were very close to me passed away over this past couple of weeks. I got the notice on one of them just yesterday. It has been a crazy couple of years. But on yesterday, I found out I used to call him my work dad when I was working with the state of Michigan. His name was Stan Harris. Got a message from his wife on last night that he passed away. And so, they will be funeralizing him. Unfortunately, I will be with my people at First Ward and these young people at Dow Treasure Academy on this coming Saturday, but my hearts and prayers are with him. And then also those of you in the community, you know this next person. Her name is Tamika Webb, and Tamika Webb was from the city, from Carlton. She grew up in Carlton. The Webb family is a very well-known family in the community. Just a young woman, bright, full of life. Suddenly, she's gone, and so we just have to thank God for every day that we're here. We're 6 feet above ground. Every day you're here, it is a blessing. And so, hearts, prayers, thoughts, and condolences go out to the Webb family as well as the Harris family. So we certainly want to thank you guys and continue to pray for them, because this is really, when you look at old folks, when you think people are going to die, you think about older people, 80, 90. But, she's 40 young years, 44, I think, years old. She passed away. My people, Arville, Ardella, Toya, all of you guys out there, hearts and prayers, especially with you, Lusua. You know I love you, Ma. Hope all is going well. We'll be in touch very soon. All right, let's get to the news. Y'all know how we start this off. We talk about what's on my mind. Man, Rob, what's on my mind today is, there's a WNBA star, Brittany Griner. I don't know if you heard this.
Yes, I have heard the story.
Okay, so she is now 7-time All-Star for the WNBA. She plays for the Phoenix Mercury during their playing season. And this is going to go, I'm going to talk about this in a couple of different ways. During the offseason, she goes overseas like most of these WNBA players do, and she plays basketball, I think, in Russia.
Right.
Okay, and she has been detained, and this is what's crazy, Rob.
And she's a black woman.
Yeah, she is she's a tall drink of water. Yes,
I'm sorry I have to mention that, but it's Women's Month, and I love my black women, so.
Man, Rob, look at me. Thank you for putting me back on track. To all of my beautiful women out there, it is Women's History Month, so we salute each and every one of you that are out there. Happy Women's History Month. We appreciate and thank you for all that you do.
We wouldn't be here without them.
Absolutely, we wouldn't be. But Miss Brittany, she was going through customs, and they found some vapes in her luggage, which had cannabis oils in them. And they had detained her. Now, the thing that's kind of crazy, Rob, is that this took place around All-Star Weekend, which was February 20th. And we're now just hearing it being released just 24 hours ago, just yesterday, that they began to release the story. Why do you think that is, Rob?
Well, because of the Ukraine situation took precedence, and got with most of the headlines and whatnot. So a lot of things probably got buried on the side there. A story of this nature here, especially one that involves the way the Russian criminal justice is set up, can easily be shifted under the rug for the time being. Now that we are into the thick of things between Russia and Ukraine, other things are going to start to come out at this point. So, including, the Iran situation and others.
CNN has their 4-star generals, and I have the Rob Father to let us know what's going on here. One of the things I know that they're kind of concerned, and my personal thought is that they've been working on this since about February 20th of last year, and, put it in. They worked with the NBA. They let her know who she was, 7-time All-American, All-Star. And I think that now, because of everything that's going on, I have a concern that she might be being used as a hostage. And so we'll see what's going on. Our hearts and prayers are with her and her family. This is some crazy stuff. Now, the other question that I want to have, since this is Women's History Month, Robin, I was already fighting for my women, Lena, and for y'all. There's this issue of the not equal play. And, these guys who are in the NBA making ridiculous money. And so our women that are playing in the WNBA, they entertain us. They are exciting. Now they're dunking and doing all these amazing things. They got part-time jobs, which, she is basically, that's what it is. During her off season, she has to go and play because she doesn't have equal pay. She doesn't have the opportunity to make those dollars. And I understand the whole marketing scheme. Trust me, I worked in the NBA for 18 years. But when are we going to begin to see some equal justice like they did with the soccer program because of the inequities in terms of their pay? Hopefully we'll begin to see that so those women will actually be getting paid their due for the services that are rendered. They hustle, they play, they scrap, they fight, they ball out on the court, just like the men. Rob, what say you?
I agree. And I've always felt that women deserve the same pay as men because they work just as hard. But then again, I'm biased because I work with women in the military for 20 years, and I've seen what a woman can do in the military.
So the military has a similar situation going on, right?
In many cases, yes, but not as much because it's hard to get away with that sort of thing, So not as much.
Well, since we're here in Russia, we're going to stick here for a second. I just want to give y'all an update because I need you all to be paying attention to what's going on because as we look at this is about domestic. This is world situation impacts all of us in some way, shape, or form. We're learning things that we never knew before. One of the things that I am learning is that I did not know that we were spending so much money buying oil from Russia. I don't know if that's something that you knew all along, Rob.
I suspected it, but it didn't bother me as much because I didn't know all the details behind
There's
it.
a global economy, right? So 3% of America's oil use comes from Russia, is what I'm understanding. And so we use this. And so there's a war that's going on. This is an invasion. It's not a military exercise. This is a war, y'all. This war is taking place. They've had sanctions against the oligarchs. And some of y'all are like, what's an oligarch? An oligarch is a person who has amassed a great deal of wealth, and because of their wealth, they have a great deal of influence in their government. And so Putin relies on these very wealthy individuals, and so they begin to sanction them, their families, and even Putin himself. Okay, there's been corporate boycotts, all kinds of stuff that is going on to stop this thing. Now, Rob, out the gate, I was like, look, if dude is going to invade, is he really going to be pressed? You know, they talked about how he had, been amassing $4 billion for some purpose. What did they think was going to happen? And do you think that sanctions are going to ever impact him in a way that they'll be able to force him to stop?
I doubt it. At this point, I doubt it, because no one knows what's going on in Putin's mind at the moment. At least we're not aware of what's going on. Anything else, we don't know what's going on in the situation room in the White House. We can only, guess. So we just have to wait this thing out and see what happens. But I can't say for sure.
Okay. All right. So I want to keep this. I want to talk to you all about this, because there's some things that have happened that kind of ticked me off. I'm not gonna lie, Rob. So now they're saying that there's war crimes being alleged against him, use of weaponry. Now I have no idea what they're talking about, Rob. I did not know we had weapons that you can launch out that suck the oxygen out of a space and basically disintegrate people. This is some sci-fi kind of stuff, Rob. But they're saying that he's using this type of weaponry in their mass shellings. And just it's crazy when you see what's going on. To wake up and to see this as your day-to-day is a crazy situation. So this is what we're dealing with, Rob.
Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Okay, so that's not real.
I don't know. I can't say.
Okay,
so
okay.
See what happens.
Okay.
When the first person starts disappearing because of the weapons launch, then we'll know for sure.
Okay, I got you, Rob.
I don't know.
He's playing deep over there, Mr. Warman himself. Okay,
I read too many science fiction books. What can I say?
So I want to just talk to you about this, because Kherson, Mariupol, Odessa, Crimea, which was 2014, I think is when they attacked and kind of started taking over that, and then Donetsk, which is another area. They're kind of becoming under Russian control. Now, will they have, you got millions of people that you got to keep in these people like, look, we ain't having it, so we're not staying in. But the two cities in the north that are gaining a lot of attention are Kharkiv and Kiev. Now, my thing is this. If they go in there and they bomb, will they be able to have the capacity to take over? Nobody wants to be a prisoner of war, not even if it's on for a couple of months. And nobody wants to live in a state of constant guerrilla warfare. So as we see nearly 1.5 million Ukrainian folk getting out of the country, they're becoming refugees and trying to escape. We are also seeing what is playing out something, and this is where I told you I had a real issue. There were reports of individuals who are people of color trying to get out, because we over there, they're like, listen, I told you, this is not our war. We ain't got nothing to do with this. We want out. And so now there have been reports that the blacks that are there, and all of these blacks are not from Africa.
No.
Some of them are from Great Britain and other places in the world. They've gone there to study or to live or do whatever, but they're leaving the country just like the other ones are. And they are being refused access, or this is what was reported, refused access on planes, refused access on buses, and not allowed to enter into Poland. This is racism in the middle of a war where they're bombing everything, and you're trying to save your life in other countries. Some of those countries are black countries. One of those countries is the United States. You want our planes, our weapons, our tax dollars. How in the world do you find time to be racist in this particular time? And so they were saying no helping blacks, no blacks, no blacks. And we see these black people being, a couple of them escorted off at gunpoint because they were not willing to help them. And so, our different individuals from different countries, what do they call them? Ambassadors from different countries, African countries, right, are saying like, yo, we sending y'all money. We're helping this whole UN thing. If you guys are not going to this is not right. So, Rob, I just don't understand how black folk are always seem to be the low man on the totem pole. There was one black man that was out there. He had been sitting in that space because it's cold. It's wintertime. He had been sitting in that space so long that his body could not bend. He was frozen in space. And I just want to know what your thoughts are about that. And in addition to that, Rob, you've seen this happen before. Okay, there's a war going on. There's been wars in many black countries. There's been atrocities like what happened in Haiti and Port-au-Prince years ago, and then what just happened a few years ago in terms that, do you think that the world would be opening its borders and receiving these refugees if these refugees had been from countries or countries of color? I gotta ask myself, because what I'm seeing.
I'm speaking only for myself and not for Alpha Media, but as a black man and as an American, see, this is two fork thing.
Absolutely.
Number one, to answer your question, no. Then there's another question that in a group that was asked, if what happened in Russia in Ukraine happened over here, would we answer the call to protect the country? And I saw a few members in that group said no. Now that appalled me, because I'm a patriot. But I have the advantages and freedoms and whatnot here in America. I know that we have issues with race in this country, but having traveled to other countries and lived in other countries and see what's going on, I still say we're better than many other countries in many areas. But that doesn't mean that I should just step aside and not defend it, because when the terrorists come over here, they're not going to pick out whites from blacks or yellows from browns. They're going to attack you because you're an American.
Rob, I'm going to tell you right now, if this could not happen in the United States. First of all, we have that Second Amendment, and some of these people have taken this. I mean, come on.
That's true.
We have militia galore. You would see every gun-toting American across the world, and we have guns. We have a gun issue, a gun problem. Everybody's already armed. Everyone has multiple arms. This could not happen in the United States. And I
would hope not.
I will not be a slave to anybody ever again a day in my life. So I would be exercising my Second Amendment right, my right to bear arms and to protect my home, my family, all of those good stuff. I ain't never been in a war. I would never enlist in a war, but that's a war they didn't pick. And they would have a series.
There's many ways you can support yourself or the country without actually picking up a weapon. You know, computers, taking care of someone else's kids, whatnot, opening your doors.
Feeding people, all that stuff.
Ways of doing it without actually picking up an arm.
Okay, I just want to know, would the response be the same if these were black nations that were being invaded by a foreign country? All right, next, this is the anniversary for these youngins that's in the studio. Oh, yes. They'll be like, what are you talking about? This is the anniversary of Bloody Sunday, the civil rights march that took place when they were crossing the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, and today we commemorate that with marches that are led by our VP. Our VP is going to be the HWIC, the head woman in charge, taking them across that historic landmark to remind us of the days when John Lewis, God rest his soul, those other individuals, Hosea Williams. Some of y'all like, who's Hosea Williams? Y'all know Portia, who stole the man's husband on Atlanta Housewives. Actually, she comes from a family of civil rights activists. Even though she didn't know what the Underground Railroad was when they were talking, and she was looking for trains, and we're going to let that one slide. But her great-grandfather, Hosea Williams, was a civil rights activist. Bob Nance, Albert Turner, and they are giving a walk, that historic march, to celebrate and commemorate that amazing day taking place in our history. So I want us to we're going to take a quick break in just a second. And we're going to come back. We're going to talk about today's topic. I got my DTA people in here. I see my other person coming in the social media stream. We're going to be back. We're going to talk about Dow Treasure Academy, these amazing students that are with me, and them helping to celebrate First War Community Center as we prepare to raise dollars to keep this legacy alive. And we want you guys to be a great part of this. Come on, tune in. This is going to be great for all of you. Stay, don't go away. We'll be back more with Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Join us for the First Ward Preserving the Legacy kickoff fundraiser, Saturday, March 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
My name is Madison Summers, and I've been familiar with the Center for about 6 years.
Okay.
So I started off many years ago and joining one of the youth employment programs offered at First Ward. From that summer forward, First Ward has opened many doors for me, from meeting new people to having several job opportunities because of that. I've not only witnessed First Ward being a big help to me, but others around me. From the summer youth employment program to the mini food drive, the boys basketball team, and different resources. Even to the kids after school program that's offered. First Ward is a safe. First Ward is a part of me. First Ward has not only helped many people in the community, but throughout the whole entire Saginaw. My name is Madison Summers, and I am a First Ward kid.
90 years and counting. First Ward Community Center, continuing to transform lives from dependency to self-sufficiency.
At Culver's, we believe there's a right way to prepare a North Atlantic cod fillet sandwich, the traditional way. By traditional, we mean the same way the Culver family used to prepare it in their Wisconsin supper clubs over 40 years ago. We start with the finest hand-cut cod fillets, batter each by hand, and cook crispy golden to order. No shortcuts, just hot and flaky and battered goodness. So good.
You ready?
It's a tradition, all right.
You ready to go?
North Atlantic cod fillet dinner or
Check it out.
sandwich. Welcome to Delicious.
There is definitely an art to handcrafting a rich, creamy Culver's concrete mixer. Start by stirring our so incredibly fresh vanilla or chocolate frozen custard. Then add whatever mix-ins you crave. Cookie dough, salted caramel, Butterfinger, hello. Blend till you get the perfect balance of goodies from top to bottom with every blue spoonful. Indulge in a thing of beauty.
Come to Culver's and let us create a concrete mixer masterpiece just for you know who. Welcome to Delicious.
Save big money and get 11% off everything at Menards. Attract beautiful birds to your feeder with Enchanted Garden Wild Bird Food. The mix contains a blend of seeds and corn that your feathered friends will love. A 40-pound bag of wild bird food is $11.99 after the 11% rebate. Get 11% off everything at Menards. Good through March 12th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Lose the weight guaranteed. Only $49.99 for Patrick Seminars. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late eating pictures, boredom eating, stress eating. Stop smoking with Mark Patrick Seminars. No matter how many times you tried, hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Join us at the Bay Valley Resort and Conference Center in Bay City, 5:30, March 8th. Stop Smoking Seminar starts at 8 p.m. For more information, go to markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1.
Hey, this is Kareem, and we are back with more of Straight Talk. We are here. I'm excited that you guys are in the house. I'm going to bring on the stage. I have some lovely young ladies. Ladies, you just turn and give a nice big smile to everyone that's over there. They see you over there across my shoulder. And I want to talk with you ladies just for a quick second. Roscoe, we're going to hide you just for 1 second. I'm going to talk to these ladies first, and then we'll bring you back in just a second. All right, so ladies, who do I have with me? Why don't you share your name? Tell us who you are, give us your name, and let us know what school you hail from. These are some of the beautiful ladies of the Dow Treasure Academy. Ladies.
My name is Kamaya Johnson, and the school I represent is Saginaw High.
She says Saginaw High for that black and gold. I see Terry Reed already out there. Yes, these are your folks.
Hi, my name is Kamaya Johnson, and I'm representing Saginaw High School.
All right, so both of these young ladies represent Saginaw High School, and they are a part of the Dow Treasure Academy. So these men have leaned in and allowed these ladies to go first, which I absolutely love. We always teach respect and what's going on. Your guy Terry's out there. He said Trojans all day. Yes, the Trojans are in the house at the moment. And we're going to bring the fellas. It just happened. The ladies are from Saginaw High, and the fellas are from Arthur Hill. But we're going to just talk a little bit about the Dow Treasure Academy. Now, these two young women, they are twins. They're fraternal twins, right? Not identical. All right. Actually, Kamaya, you look a lot like your older sister, who I had an opportunity to work with over the summer. But Kamaya and Kanaya Johnson. And these are some of the most remarkable young ladies. I had an opportunity to meet with them, and I've gotten a chance to know them. We started, November 1st of last year, and we've been going strong in terms of our engagement. Some of you are asking, how would you guys define that? I know what I would say the Dow Treasure Academy is, but how would you guys define what DTA is to you? What does it mean to you?
In my opinion, I think DTA is another place to learn, not just somewhere to go around and goof off or just somewhere to take your mind off things. It's somewhere to take your mind off things, but it's also somewhere to learn.
Okay.
You get to meet new people, you get to learn about new things, you get to explore new things, go on field trips, meet new people. I just feel like DTA was one of my
Go ahead.
It was one of my biggest and greatest things I accomplished this year.
Okay. You think DTA is one of the biggest things, one of your greatest accomplishments this year?
Yeah.
Can I ask you why you feel that way?
Yes. I actually feel this way because school is another thing, but it's not really. It's edgy, it's off But with DTA after school, I go to the Dta Academy, and I learn new things.
Okay.
And not only that, it picks me up. It's a lot of people around that I have met that I never met before, and they're uplifting. So as Kareem and Sandra, they're uplifting as well.
They taking all kind of privileges. They never called me Kareem or Sandra, but we gonna let it go since we're on the radio today. Go ahead.
You can go to them with anything. They're family.
That's right. We family. We are family. I appreciate you saying that. Kamai, what are your thoughts? So as you look at your being a part of the Dow Treasure Academy, first of all, what was your first thought when you first thought, okay, Dow Treasure Academy? You had heard some things. You had kind of sat through a video introduction of it because we were strongly in that hybrid mode. What was your thought then, and how do you understand it now? How is it impacting your life now?
Okay, my thought then was it's just a thing to you can just go have fun and stuff like that. That was my thought. But now I can see it really inspires me by learning more, and especially with the math when we have the teacher explain stuff on Zoom and stuff like that helped me out more. So like yeah, that's exciting.
All right, for those of you who are listening, the Dow Treasure Academy is an academy that was put together, and it was something that I was inspired to put together. For those, and these guys have heard this story, I've shared it with them before because I need them to understand that everyone inspires some element of greatness out of someone else. And so during 2020, and Terry Reed, you were one of the guys with me. There was, we had about 300 men that did that march down Washington Avenue because we were upset about what would happen to the murdering of George Floyd. And then after we were protesting, there were marches at City Hall and marches at the courthouse and, out on State and Bay and Tittabawassee. I started asking my question, what happens after the protest? And we just began to talk. And I said, we've got to begin to lean in and begin to make impact in areas where we have influence. So I started connecting with relationships and reaching out to people that have done a business before in corporate America. And I said, look, I need you all to lean in for these students. This is the DNA of that student. I can see us bringing these students in. Give us 3 years with these students, and we're going to do some amazing things. And so we're working with these students from 9th grade to 12th grade, and we are giving them every single thing that we have. So professional development, personal development. We're working with them in terms of leadership. We have some of the best mentors on the planet. We have 10 mentors from Dow that are going to give 1,800 hours of mentorship. And we have a community of partners that are really waiting to make an impact, talking about everything from branding to professional development, education, time management, the whole nine. We're leaning in with these young people. We're giving them opportunities to see the world through a lens that they've never had an opportunity. Now, they haven't really gotten into the stuff that I really want to do. They've been getting gifts and cards, and they put on what I would consider, and these two ladies I want to applaud for MLK Day. We were going to do an in-person program, but COVID numbers went through the roof, so we were forced online. And these young ladies and these young men put on an amazing program. Kamaya, you were there. And you guys, I want to talk about perseverance, overcoming obstacles. I talk a lot to corporate America about removing barriers that keep our kids from being great. But you guys have been challenged this year with some things that our other students haven't had to deal with in the way that you guys have. And that is having to experience loss and still be great. How did you guys get through that season of your time? Because it hit right before MLK. The kids were getting ready to do that display of greatness, and you guys were putting together poems, and someone else read your poem. But Kamai, you took the time and you sang that song, Yes, and Still I Rise. These sisters here have amazing voices. How did you guys have the strength to get through the loss of someone that was so important and yet continue to be great in the process as you guys are working with us with DTA? How did you do it?
Okay, first of all, you can't keep that in. You can't. Once you lost somebody, you can't be sad. You gotta lift yourself up, and not only that, you have family to go and talk to. So yes, you're gonna have losses. You gotta get through them. So when we had our loss, we was down. But you got family that you return to. So you can't just keep that in. It's still gonna be there, but you gotta move forward. You can't just fall backwards. You can't keep going back. Keep going forward.
And they want you to move forward too. Like by looking out right now, when they see us keep going and stuff, that's probably making them happy. So like whenever you down, you keep going, keep doing what you're supposed to do. Don't ever stop doing what you're doing. Just keep going.
Well, you ladies are not just an inspiration, but you're ministers out to somebody else out there who's experienced loss. I see Jenny DeMore out there. She's saying, amen. I know that her particularly, there's been some loss around and surrounding her. So you guys are sharing your story with other individuals, and I think it's powerful. And I want to say something, and if I can be real, can I be real? Can we have a real conversation, Kanaya and Kamaya Johnson? Kanaya, I had a counselor of yours from school reach out to me, and they were like, hey, your name came up, and they were like, hey, can we get together and meet about this? And I was like, absolutely. Courtney, I'm gonna tell Courtney's out there. That's almost her first name, but she's one of the counselors. She came out, we sat and we talked. She says, what are y'all doing? I said, what do you mean, what are we doing? There's like Kanaya, she's a great person. She has her moments when she's an exuberant young vibrant young person, but we have noticed such a change in the way she's acting. We've noticed a change in her personality and her character. Kamaya, you're leaning. Have you noticed a change as well? Share with us what change you've learned. This is your twin sister.
She's not that goofy and playing around like how she used to be. So that's more of a change that I've seen her. She more doing her work. That's some more change too. It's a lot.
And that's what they said. They say, hey, your attendance is on point, your attitude has changed, your work is improving, and you're doing some amazing things. What sparked that change in you, Kanaya?
First of all, my parents.
Okay.
Okay. Since I was little, I wasn't always like the rest of my sisters, like always bringing A's home, B's home. I wasn't always that student. So for me to now be in high school, my life is going by fast. And once you're in high school, 9th grade, you can't go around. You can't be messy. You can't get suspended. You can't do things that you used to do when you were in elementary or middle school. So when you're in high school, everybody gonna think you mature. You gotta stay around. When they think that, you gotta be that. You can't just go around saying you mature and in 5 seconds later they turn it back and they see me in childish.
Okay. And so what was because they were like, whatever this program is that you guys are doing is making an impact here. Did you feel like you were challenged in this program to rise to another level of excellence? Because I think that the only difference between a superhero and a villain is how you use your superpower. So what was it that motivated you? Was it a piece of doubt that said, hey, you got to do something different? We don't play that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what made, was there anything else that sparked that change in your life?
Yes, I think it was like the first meeting that we had.
Yeah.
And y'all was like, y'all are high schoolers. We're going to be asking for our grades. We're going to be talking to y'all teachers, y'all counselors, y'all principals. And me, I had to change.
Okay.
Because, of course, when you want to talk to one of your students or kids, teachers, or counselors, you want to get a positive impact from them. You don't want to get a negative. So for me, it was like, I got to help my back. I can't keep goofing around and doing stuff I'm supposed to be doing. I got to keep moving forward, keep my attendance up, my grades, and just keep everybody around me happy.
Well, I want to tell you, it was a pleasure. I had an opportunity to go, and you guys are recognized at the Honor Society. And I'm like saying, like, go DTA. And to hear the report that teachers are saying about your impact, not only on your own grades, but how you guys are changing the climate and how you're acting in your personal spaces in school, keeping focused, staying on task is something that is absolutely amazing to me. Now we are getting ready to do something really big this coming Saturday, March 12th. We're talking about preserving the legacy of First Ward Community Center. And where you guys are located, I don't believe that you guys are actually benefactors of First Ward. You haven't been to First Ward, right? in terms of young people growing up. But why is giving back and being a part of community service important to you all as young people?
It's important to me because, like, when I was little, I used to always run errands with my parents, and every day you will see somebody standing on the corner with a sign asking for money because they need food or clothing, or they gotta feed their child, or they need somewhere they didn't get at. And my mom, when I was little, my mom used to always come home from work. She used to take care of elderly people, and I looked up to that because she'll come home late at night, and after I was working, she'll tell me her stories on how she felt and how great of an opportunity she took the chance of. And me, I just want to look up to that and take her role is to be a medical field, be in the medical field.
Okay.
Actually, I want to take care of homeless and elderly, give back what they lost. Because when I look at the people on the streets or by the store asking for money, it breaks my heart. I don't like seeing my people.
One of the things you said my people. One of the things that you said is that you really want to be able to help people.
Yes.
And every time I'm going to tell y'all, it is no matter what we talk about, when it comes out, she's like, I really want to be able to help people. I want to help people. I want to make a difference. I want to help people. And so this is your first step in being able to help people. You know, we're going to get out in the community. These restrictions are lessening. So we'll get out in the community, do some other things to help people. But that is just a part of your DNA, right? Okay. So we're excited about that. If you guys are looking in social media, there's a couple of young men that keep popping in. I think these are parents. The father of these young girls, he's working not far from here, so he's excited about what's going on. So, Pops, we want to get your input really quick. If you could just jump in and share with us really quickly what your thoughts are about what's going on and the change that you see in these young women. We greatly appreciate it. I'm not sure if you're in earshot of where I am, but if not, we'll continue this conversation. We'll move forward. I think we just lost him because I saw that phone go belly up. But I'm going to bring into the scene. I want to. Pops is here. Pops is here. What's going on, Dad? I want to see if we can hear you.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Mr. Boyens?
Okay, you're muted. I don't hear you, sir. Mute yourself. All right, we're gonna work on that. We can't hear you, Pops. We see you. You there?
I'm trying to figure out. Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. How's it going?
Great. They can hear you. So Rob, we can pull my volume down. That'll stop the feedback. Dad, I want to know what exactly has been the impact. You have been working with these young girls. You showed up on day one, which we don't always see about men. We want to know what has been the impact. We've noticed change. School has noticed change. Have you noticed change in these young women?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. And I'm proud of you guys. And I really appreciate what y'all been doing, you know what I'm saying, for our children. Most definitely appreciate it.
All right, so we want to thank you, Pops, for leaning in. We're definitely going to lean in. We got some other kids we're going to bring in to this conversation. I thought I would let you come in because I know you were trying to hear your young ladies. So we want to say thank you for leaning in real hard as we continue to do great work with these young people. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. I'm going to bring into our stream and Roscoe. Roscoe's been on this show before when we were talking about making some impact and making things happen as he unmutes himself. And we have in the background, back there, he doesn't know that he's on camera, Logan. Roscoe, why don't you say hello to the Straight Talk audience, and then we'll talk about this whole partnership that we have with First Ward Community Center. Everybody will talk about it in just a second. You there, Roscoe?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm not hearing you, Roscoe. Logan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Logan. So we see you in here. We want you to just share with us what is your name, Logan?
My name is Logan Taylor.
Logan Taylor. And Logan, you came into the Dallas Treasure Academy. You were actually accepted a couple of weeks after the other ones were. But you came in running. What is it about DTA? I had a conversation with your grandmother, Miss Taylor. I did not know it was your grandmother. She was an amazing woman, as well as your grandfather. And she was just like, listen, I don't know what y'all doing, but this son or this grandson of mine is in love with this program. And so what is it about DTA that causes you to lean in or that catches your attention?
I just feel like it's all the people that's in the program and helping me grow as a person. I like how my mindset's growing and how I'm growing as a person. My grades have been going up and everything like that. So my personality is getting better. I just like everything about the program.
Okay, so we thank you. Actually, you were one of the other students recommended you to this program, saying, "Yo, this dude right here, he needs to be a part of this program." They were like, "I'll bet my reputation on them." That's what they told me. I'll put my reputation on them because they had worked with us in other previous opportunities. I said to them, "Hey, let's see what this guy's about." We met with you and your dad, and we had some conversation. And I said, "This is absolutely amazing." One of the lessons that we've been talking about is leadership, right? Logan, how has your understanding of what it means to be a leader, how has that changed?
At first, I thought a leader was just being like a person that's there and is really famous and everything. But a leader is really a leader can be anybody. You just gotta have something to lead, and a leader always has to have a leader. So really, just leaders are everywhere.
Okay, leaders are everywhere. Ladies, you are here with me as well. When you think about leadership, how is your understanding what it means to be a leader changed?
There you go. Okay. In my opinion, I think leadership is someone who's going down the right path.
Okay.
So say if you need help with your work and a lot of people don't get help or a lot of people don't want to take that chance to help another person. But it's not just that. You gotta stand up, maybe the bigger person and go help that person out. Or if someone is getting bullied or anything, just be the leader. Go in the path you want to go in, not the path you see one of your friends going in or some other bad situation. Just
Right.
go on the path you know what's right.
All right, because I challenge you all the time. I think that you all need to understand that leadership is so integral to changing a community. And we talk about a leader, somebody who inspires others to do more, to be more, to achieve more, to become more. How are you, Logan? You can answer this question. And Roscoe, I'm not sure if we can hear you or not. Can you, let's see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
All right, we're losing you on the audio, so we don't hear you. I don't know if they can hear you or not. They'll let me know when they're talking. But Logan, when you look at your leadership, how have you been learning to become a more effective leader? Because we talked about leadership specifically. How have you been learning to be more effective as a leader?
When you at the beginning of the program, I wasn't really a leader myself. I was more of a follower. But when I got into the program, I was taught that leadership is more important than being a follower. So I started being a leader myself. With everything that Mr. Bowen taught me, I just started being a leader.
All right, and Roscoe, they say that they can hear you. I can't hear you, but I want to ask you this question because you have kind of come out. You have been kind of the face that DTA, the Dow Treasure Academy, has seen in media and in print, and did your little 15 minutes of fame with your interviews with the news stations. And the students have selected and have said, hey, you're one of our leaders in this program. I want to know how and what has impacted your life in such a way that you have become the person that you are. And do you see yourself as a leader?
Well, first I would like to say DTA has been a great leadership experience, and the story behind DTA is truly inspiring. We have many great resources with this new program to become more and develop these key characteristics. For me, DTA has been more than just a STEM program. It's becoming about leadership. We're developing a bond, much like a family. I think a leader could. I would like to say a leader in my eyes is a person who stands up for what they believe in, stands up for what's right.
And do you consider yourself a leader, Mr. Smith?
Well, before this program, I never really thought about it that much, but this program has brought a lot of leadership upon me. And I would say now at this point in time, yeah, I would consider myself a leader.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about goals and aspirations and doing great things. And I know that you guys have some amazing goals. And I want to lean just in, I want to switch a little bit from leadership to some of the things that you guys are most interested in. Logan, I know that you are a young business mogul in the making, and you have a desire to be a businessman with a plan. I want you to share really quickly what has been the most impactful thing or the thing that you're looking to learn most in this DTA process?
I just want to see how to help myself in the future, like get into college and stuff like that. I feel like this program will really help me with that. There's a certain process you have to go through, like the learning process and everything. And I think DTA is the way to start.
All right. You asked me a specific question. We were talking about, do you guys remember we were talking about you all are a corporation? And I shared with you guys how each of us is given a 9-digit number, which is called the Social Security number. But if you start a business, they give you a 9-digit number, which is called an EIN number, which is your employment identification number. You remember that conversation, Logan?
Yes.
Okay. And we started this process of how do you want your brand to be recognized as a corporation, since we're all corporations. And Logan asked me the question. He said, wait, Mr. Bowen, I need to do this for real. So, Logan, what is it that you strive to do? What is it that you need to learn as it relates to this branding process as you begin to launch out? Because what I would love to see is all of these young people produce businesses that they're running and have going on and making money and seeing how things operate and impacting their community while they are yet in school. Logan, what is it that you want to do?
Being when you're younger, I feel like for me, I want to get money when I'm younger. So right now I want to start like a clothing line or a clothing brand, something like that. When I get older, I want to go into like medicine and stuff like that.
And so he said, Mr. Bowen, can we get this brand? Ladies, what are your aspirations? As you look for it, I know, Kanaya, you want to be in the medical field. But Kamaya, what are your dreams and aspirations?
I wanted to be a teacher.
You wanted to be a teacher. Why a teacher?
Because I wanted to be a teacher because I want to, teach math because that's what I love to do. So I want to teach math, or if not that, then I'll be like a gym teacher to work out. And,
So when Miss Lakeisha, because you were the one who mentioned Miss Lakeisha Bodiford, we have an amazing math teacher that comes in and works with these students, and she shows them the inside scoop on understanding math. We're working on geometry right now. So is that some of the most fun that you're having in this program? I've never seen young people excited about math. And these young people you do it, Miss Lakeisha, wherever you are, all hail Queen Lakeisha, because she makes it happen. What is it about Miss Lakeisha that coming in and working with you guys with math that is different than what you get in your normal traditional school setting?
She make me understand more and how I'm supposed to do it. Like at first, I didn't really get it like that, but now since she's going through it and teaching us more, now I finally get it. So that's what she helps me more on.
All right, look, and I want to say this to you because you desire to be a teacher. I need you when she comes in and she inspires you because you are answering questions, you're figuring out how things are made, you are part of that process. As she comes in and she impacts your life, you got to think about, how am I going to give back? If you truly want to be a teacher, we need teachers who are inspired to teach, who will take the time. And I think one of the things that I love seeing is when the light bulb goes off, oh, I get it. And then you guys begin to work through these problems and work. So we're going to have some Math Super Saturdays, and we're going to invite all ninth graders to come in because there's some situations, with substitute teachers and long-term subs that are important for us to overcome. So I want you to lean in and really take that to heart. How can you become a better teacher? Roscoe, I want you really quickly. I want you to share how the mentorship process. You guys have some amazing mentors that are coming in, as we said before. Dow is sending their mentors in, and they're spending 1,800 hours over the course of these 3 years with you guys. How has that mentorship process begun? Are there some mentors that impact you more than other mentors, or what does that look like?
Well, I feel like with each individual mentor, they all have something in specific to provide to the students. Like, in my time, I really like, talking to the mentors and, they came in, I'm pretty sure like last week, and they taught us what they did, or 2 weeks ago, last Wednesday, they taught us about what they did, what their job was with Dow. And, just much like their jobs, they all have different things they provide to like the group of DTA students that are here.
Okay, so I want to ask this question because we're getting ready. We're doing this in partnership. There's this whole kickoff on the radio that we're doing March 12th with First Ward Community Center, and we're having a special in session. I want to say to you guys, we listen to the students. The students are like, look, Mr. Bowen, if we're going to be doing this and we're going to be working through these pieces, we want to be in person. We want to come to KBS, to your office and work on these things. So I was just looking at there like, yep, we all want to be in person. You guys are getting ready to lean in and to raise funds for First Ward Community Center so that we can, as we say, preserve the legacy. And when I look at what you guys are doing, you guys have been exposed to app development and creation. You have had some world-class leaders, CEOs, presidents of corporations that have come in and spoken with you guys. What is the thing that you guys have taken in that you would like to share with everyone else that's in the community? Is there anything that you've learned that you would really like to take in and share with the rest of the community?
To take your time. Everything don't have to be rushed.
Okay.
So when I was little, I was always rushing to do this or rushing to do that. And my dad was like, take your time, Nana. You can always do this. Just take your time. Slow down. So now that I'm older, I finally realized that there's no need to rush. You can always do this another time, or you can always keep track of this. So for me, it's just take it.
And we did that time assessment. Remember, yes, I don't have enough time to do anything. And we realized that we have a lot of time that we have extra to make some great things happen, correct? What about you? What about you, Logan? What are some things that you have learned so far that you would love for the rest of the community to learn and to share?
Mr. Bowen has taught me to think before I speak, because before I joined the program, I would always be the first to talk. And now that I'm thinking about it, you gotta think before you speak. So yeah.
That would be it. Roscoe, what you got to share with us, my man?
I gotta agree with Logan on that one. The same exact thing. I always, speak before I think, and I end up, potentially hurting somebody's feelings, and it's not really what I intended on doing. So, decided to relax a little bit and just think before I speak, and it's been working for me.
Well, it's amazing because you young people have helped me, because I am one individual who has had to learn that the hard way. So I thank you guys for leaning in those areas. So as we begin to do some things for First World Community Center, we have some amazing things. What have you guys signed up for? Because each of you were given a particular task or signed up for a particular task on this coming Saturday. For those who are listening, we are leaning in for First World Community Center. We are the radio stations coming on site. We need the community to come out. And this is an opportunity to begin their capital campaign fund. We're kicking it off at the radio station. There'll be there a piece of a radiothon, and we're going to be on the radio raising money, sharing what's happening. We want you to come down, share your story. This is going to be absolutely amazing. And these young people have put together some programming and some pieces that they want to share with young people. So if you have young people, bring them out because we want them to be involved with all what's happening. What have you guys signed up for? What are your assignments, and what are you going to be doing for First World Community Center on Saturday? Do you guys remember Logan, what did you sign up for? Do you know? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember what I
Okay, because there will be a legacy reading room. And so we will be sharing, students that will be coming out, our young people will be sharing with the legacy reading room, sharing some of the story, the deep, rich history that our community have. There's also an art program that they're putting together, and they are going to be making some great things happening. We'll be there. So many things are happening with First Ward. And so I thought it was important to bring some of these young people on, because First Ward is an active partner with what we're doing. I can't wait till we get out and they're able to get into their gym and on their premises. So much has been shut down because of COVID. But as with any great thing, if you have a home, your home at home, you got to do some repairs, you got some upgrades. This is 90 years of service. And I was so excited when I was telling these young people how First Ward impacted my life, and if they would be willing to lean in to do something great for First Ward, they were willing to do so. So many people are sewing into their lives. We have an amazing list of partners, from Dow, who's our sponsor, to Garber Management. We've got Saginaw Community Foundation, which is also a partner. You all remember Dr. Jeff Gardner, American psychologist. He has talked with them. So we're bringing in components of social emotional learning. Isabella Bank, Horizons Conference Center, Shaheen Development Corporation. My guy Pete out there is doing some amazing things for us. And Microsoft. So many people are leaning in for them. And so we teach them that it's important that they lean in for other people. So they're taking their time, their energies, and their talents, and they're leaning into First World Community Center. Tomorrow we're having a day where we're prepping and running and getting things together, and we are so excited. All right, so when we look at this, you guys also, we're having a conversation, and we have, the partnership with Dow. Dow is doing this program to benefit Saginaw Public Schools. I didn't want them to do Saginaw County because we have so many counties, so many schools that get overserved. I was like, let's target these communities where we actually need these resources. You guys were saying, hey, we need to, we talked about the new school and what the new school would bring. Thanks, Rob. And you guys were saying, like, nobody asked us our thoughts about what was happening with the new school. Nobody came in. Remember that conversation? And so I leaned in. I said, listen, I think that you guys need to have this conversation. So on this coming Wednesday, you guys will be leading a conversation with our school superintendent, Dr. Roberts. Dr. Roberts, when I say Dr. Roberts, these guys want to hear from you. They want to know what the plan is for the school. They want to roll out of what's happening. He jumped to the opportunity to do this roundtable opportunity with you guys. And you guys will be leading this so that other students can hear what is so important. Is there anything in particular, as you guys prepare for Wednesday, that you find is important to ask Dr. Roberts? Some of the things that you're looking forward to asking your new school superintendent, because everybody's getting a new school. So what comes to mind that is very important to you guys? I'd like to hear some of those ideas or thoughts.
My top one was, what was your idea of putting both schools together?
Okay.
And the second most important one was, are there COVID procedures, like do we have to still wear a mask, or is it still the 6 feet distance, and are the desks going to be,
How do you have space? You asked, are we going to have the same furniture? Do we get new furniture? Because one of the things that you guys talked about was how you guys really want the students to take pride in their school. Because there were some things you said the janitors get everything cleaned up, and then the students trash it. We've had so many conversations that you guys have talked about that we've even put together a clean school pack, and you guys have gotten friends to sign in. So what are some of the other things Logan, what is one of the things maybe that you're interested in our school superintendent? You want to hear what he has to say about what?
Are the same teachers from my school going to be coming to the new school? Like, is all the teachers going to be coming, or is some going to get dropped off, like kicked off the
they're going to get kicked off the squad?
Yeah.
Right now we need eligible teachers. So I think that every teacher will find a home. I'm hoping they may be reassigned to a classroom that is important. Kamaya, is there anything that you'd like to share?
Yes, like is we gonna still do Google Classroom, or we gonna do work on paper, or like
You asked about books.
Yeah.
Do we get a new curriculum? What about our books? Are we going to get better books and materials? That's one of the things you asked about. Roscoe, what is it that you'd like to have out there before we close out? What's one of the things that you want to ask Dr. Roberts when we have this community roundtable?
Well, I have two things. My first thing, I would like to see how we will handle staffing with new teachers and security guards, saying, it's a pretty big school, you're combining schools. And my next question would be, who would be the principal for the school?
For the new school that's going forward. I think this is amazing that you guys are thinking about this. We are tuning in, Dr. Roberts, on Wednesday. We will be having a community roundtable. We're going to hope that we can broadcast that so students across the district will be able to come in and ask questions as they lead that conversation. And then on Saturday, we will see you 12 to 5, the Radiothon Kids 107, Radiothon benefiting First World Community Center as we press to kick off this season of giving. We want you to come out. There will be food. There will be entertainment. Come out and get your taste of soul. Make your contribution to the community. Let us know what is your first word story. We thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you for these wonderful guests who are so amazing. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week with more Straight Talk. Come on. Stay tuned. God bless you all. Grace and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen by the host, its guest, or call-ins do not necessarily